Hello, awesome audience. It's going to be an amazing, incredible video. Here are some of the things we are going to cover in this video. Content of this video. First topic, main goal. Second, authorities. Third, anthropogenic activities. Lastly, conservation action. It's based on the goal number 2, which is significantly reduce the direct and indirect pressure on biodiversity. It has three strategic targets. Target 3, by 2025, biodiversity conservation has been mainstreamed into national development planning and sectoral policies and plan. Target 4, by 2025, our production, forest, agriculture production, and fisheries are managed and harvested sustainably. Target 5, by 2025, tourism is sustainably managed and promote biodiversity conservation. All of the topics in the content are related and based on the goal to number 2 and all of its target. Main goal, the pressure origin from sector of agriculture, forestry, fishery, tourism, and industry have a negative impact on environment, as can be seen in the picture below, whereby deforestation occur due to palm oil plantation. Target 3. First, encourage future revision of a policy and highlight the infrastructure planning that will minimize any negative impact to biodiversity. Second, recognize the economic value and service of biodiversity. Continue. Third, protect sensitive area by standardizing the methodology, designing priority ranking, environmental site assessment. Lastly, promote sustainable living by developing domestic green product and service. Target 4. First, strengthen agriculture planning. Second, implement the ecosystem approach to fisheries management. Third, strengthen sustainable forest management, for example, reforestation. As can be seen in the picture below, on the 2001, the area do not have plant or vegetation. But on the 2019, due to reforestation effort, there are many plant and it become a new forest. 4. Strengthen agriculture planning by using drip irrigation system, which is more effective and can conserve more water than traditional irrigation system. Target 5. Mitigate impact of tourism on biodiversity by sustainable tourism. For example, Disney on its Disney World use sustainable tourism by undergo several steps such as conserve water, reduce waste, save energy, travel green, and using clean energy. You can also promote green guide certification to hotel, building, office, and also green business certification. Next, we will go to the authorities. Authorities refer to anybody that had the power to uphold the law and to enforce any regulation on environmental issue. Target 3. Minister of Natural Resources and Environment. First, are responsible and embed biodiversity conservation into every level of state development planning. Next, recognize the economic value of biodiversity. Continue. Ministry of Urban Well-being and Housing and Local Government must protect biodiversity hotspot area in land use. Meanwhile, economic planning unit in the government are responsible in promote sustainable consumption. Target 4. Ministry of Agriculture and Agro-Basic Industry. First, industries strengthen agriculture planning and improve practice. Second, implement ecosystem approach to fishery management. Target 5. Ministry of Tourism and Culture. First, to promote Green Guide certification. Second, identify and mitigate impact of tourism on biodiversity. And lastly, engage indigenous people and local communities in nature tourism and promote volunteerism. Next, we proceed to the anthropogenic activities, referring to any human activity that have a negative impact on the environment. Target 3. Modify existing or new policy and law pertaining to anthropogenic activities to be more environmentally friendly. Next, implement environmental tax for any anthropogenic activity, usually manufacturing, that pose harm on environment. Next, introducing stricter punishment for anthropogenic activities that damage or pollute environment. Target 4. General public, corporate and etc. must apply 3R, which is reduce, recycle and reuse when using natural resources for any activities, and the government and NGO also must cooperate with indigenous people to control the enrichment of forests or any human activity that pollute the forest. Continue. No or minimal tourism only should be allowed at biodiversity core reserve. Any tourism activity that are harmful to environment should be banned. And lastly, create global cooperation among countries to enforce and punish any individual that pollute environment during tourism. Next, we enter topic conservation action, which means interaction that need to be undertaken to help improve the environment. Target 3. Action 3.1. It is important to ensure that all our national and state development policies, plans, and programs are sensitive toward biodiversity and incorporate sufficient safeguards to protect and conserve our biodiversity. We need to ensure that future revision of our policy, including the 5-year Malaysia Plan, will assess the impact of such policies on biodiversity and embed all necessary safeguards, including planning for no net loss. Continue. Action 3.1. Develop tools and provide support to enable state government to mainstream biodiversity conservation into all state-level policies, plans, and programs, particularly those related to land and natural resources. Strengthen the biodiversity component of environmental impact assessment process, including post-EIA enforcement. Action 3.2. Recognize the economic value of biodiversity and ecosystem service by establish a natural resources accounting program to monitor the value of natural resources, including biodiversity. Develop mechanism to value non-timber resources, forests, and the environmental service provided by the forest and other ecosystem. Undertake a comprehensive valuation of biodiversity and ecosystem service, including an assessment of the impact of previous subsidies. Action 3.3. Protect environmentally sensitive area in statutory land use plan by ensure that the National Physical Plan, State Structure Plan, District Local Plan, Special Area Plan and other special planning process identify and incorporate ESA in consistent manner. Encourage the establishment of urban growth boundary to minimize urban sprawl and protect ESA. Action 3.4. Promote sustainable consumption and production by promote the development of domestic green product and service. Implement the government green procurement as a catalyst to spur green market. Promote sustainable lifestyle to encourage the demand for green or environment-friendly products. Target 4. Action 4.1. Strengthen sustainable forest management SFM. Continue supporting forest restoration effort in all the forest management unit FMU. Strengthen the implementation of reduced impact logging practice RIL. Action 4.2. Strengthen agriculture planning and improve practice. Promote and provide incentives to enable the agriculture sector pursue certification such as Malaysian Sustainable Palm Oil MASPO Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil RSPO and Malaysian Good Agriculture Practice MyGap. Develop and implement a program to rehabilitate areas that have been eroded by agriculture. Action 4.3 Implement the ecosystem approach to fishery management EAFM. Develop and implement a framework for ecosystem approach to fishery management and formulate regulation and guidelines to ensure the conservation of fisheries resources. Promote and provide incentive for fishery certification. Example, Marine Stewardship Council MSC. Develop a program to control illegal, unreported, and unregulated IUU fishing. Action 4.1 Rationalize incentives that are harmful to biodiversity by undertake a comprehensive review of all incentives in the forest, agriculture, and fishery sector to determine their impact on biodiversity and livelihood. Reform previous economic subsidies and other economic barriers impeding good agriculture, forestry, and fishery practice. Target 5. Action 5.1 Identify and mitigate impact of tourism on biodiversity by undertake a comprehensive review of the impact of all forms of tourism on biodiversity, particularly those at ESA, and assess the carrying capacity of all of our key ecotourism sites. Ensure that only ecotourism activities are allowed in SA and that tourism projects are subject to development planning approval that specify measures for mitigating impact to biodiversity. Ensure that ecotourism sites have management plans that include conservation target and action, and mechanisms for protecting biodiversity are in place and implemented. Action 5.1 Identify and mitigate impact of tourism biodiversity. Develop and adopt a national interpretation of the Global Sustainable Tourism Criteria (GSTC) and motivate tourism operators to conserve biodiversity by applying the principle of GSTC or other internationally recognized standards. Build capacity amongst small tourism operators to adopt best management practice. Action 5.2 Promote Green Guide certification, especially Tower Guide. Develop and adopt a Green Guide program that sets the direction for building a Tower Guide community that is knowledgeable and ecological conscious. Incorporate modules on the importance and status of biodiversity, potential impact of tourism, and appropriate safeguard into the Tower Guide training program. Ensure Tower Guide operating an ecotourism site obtain credible certification. Action 5.3 Engage indigenous people and local community in nature tourism and promote volunteerism. Engage and empower indigenous people and local community living in around nature tourism site as active participants in ecotourism planning and implementation, so that their livelihood are improved and their sites are better protected. Promote and support community-based tourism, including agrotourism. Create awareness about responsible travel as well as educating tourism operator, developer, and visitor on the importance of community-based tourism. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.